So my car has the dreaded EMT issue, ETM issue, I'm sorry. I believe that's what it is. Let me turn it off. You can see that it's doing it. What I'm going to attempt to do is get to it. One gentleman made a video for the S80. This is the S60 Turbo. This is your turbo pipe. And this is the intake pipe that goes into, I don't know if you can see it. The intake pipe that goes into the EMT, that's where it starts. It goes around. It's kind of difficult to see. It goes around, it goes in, then it goes into the EMT there. From what I've been reading, I believe I gotta take that pipe and then that pipe down there, down as well. And hopefully I should be able to get to the EMT that way. I've heard some people that they have to take out the fan. Hopefully I don't have to do that, but we'll see if that's what I have to do. So stay tuned. I'll tell you if it's a little more difficult. It's pretty simple from what I see. There's one screw there. There's this screw here. There's another one here. That one's for the turbo. And I think I should be able to move the turbo out the way. Alright, what I got here, hopefully this is all I need, is a screwdriver with flathead, and that's to take off things from the tighteners from the intake and the turbo pipe, latex gloves, shop vacs. I bought the throttle body and air intake cleaner from AutoZone. The wire brush to clean out the gunk that's going to be in the ETM, and also a torque screw. This one is a, I don't know if you can see it here, T25 torque screw that's going to be, I'm hoping that's the size of under the ETM. I couldn't find anywhere that posted anything, so I'll let you know if that's what it is. But I know that that screw is pretty standard for other things with this car, like that one is T25, and all the other little small things I noticed is T25. So I'm hoping they use the same thing for the ETM. That's basically it. And stay tuned. I'm gonna start working on this thing. All right, first thing I did right away, this filter that goes into the air filter. I took that thing right out because that gives me a better shot into the turbo. I'm sorry, into the one that goes into the ETM. This goes like right here. You're gonna see it. I just pushed in and out. And this thing came out too with it, but you just push that back in and you should be fine. So that's the first thing I did. Now I got a clear shot to the ETM pipe thing here. Alright, there's a clip that goes into that. That clip has to be removed. I'm going to try not to have to take this clip off. I don't know if you can see it. Basically, you're going to work, like I said, you're going to work your way around. I already loosened this up. I'm hoping I can get to it over here and loosen up some more bolts or clips. And hopefully this pipe will come out and I can get to the ETM and work on it. Alright ladies, that fan has to come out. There's two bolts here, 1, 2, and it should slide straight up. You got to unclip all the wiring that's attached to that fan. I tried to grab the ETM from the bottom, but that fan's in the way. I cannot see a way that you can get to that ETM without removing that fan, unless you have a really, really long pipe or some girl hands. So, long story short, we're removing that fan. Alright, the fan is out. It was, one bolt was there, another bolt was there, and then I just took off all the wiring that was latched on to that, and then the power to that. Now you can see there's a lot more room to work with, so I should be able to stick my hand down there. Let's give it a shot. Alright, that pipe that goes straight into the ETM is quite frankly a biatch to take out, because you have this thing that you have to unscrew, obviously, to loosen it, and it's really hard to get to because mine was kind of like this and I couldn't see it, so I had to do it blindly. Maybe if my car wasn't on the floor, I might be able to get to it a lot easier, but it wasn't easy even after taking this out. Hopefully I can now get to the 4 bolts, because I was able to see 2 of them with this still on, but I couldn't see the other 2 because it was on. So hopefully now I moved it out of the way. I'm not even going to take it out, and God willing, I can get to it. Alright, I'm under the car. Again, I'm in really tight space, but that's the ETM right there. There's 1 bolt there. If you can see it. I'm sorry, guys. There's 1 bolt there. There's another one there. And on the other side of that, there's 2 more bolts. I'm using my phone, so there's no way. But right on the other side, tiny. It's going to be really hard for me to get to that as well. I don't even know what the millimeter is on those bolts, because again, nobody has posted that. They just say, oh, 4 bolts. So this is why I'm doing this video, so no one can have an issue. I'm going to find out what those bolts are. And there's, like I said, there's 2 other ones there. One on basically on the other side of the ETM. I hope it drops. Alright, I got this son of a gun out. It's super gunked up. I'm guessing that's good news, because now I can clean it and hopefully everything will be hunky-dory. It was very difficult to get that thing out. A lot of people have painted the picture that it isn't so bad. I don't know if they have a lift. Maybe it's easier that way. But you're working blindly to get those 4 bolts. And to get those 4 bolts out, I ultimately had to take the damn pipe completely out. There's an old saying, Spanish saying, says el vago pasa doble trabajo, which means the lazy person works twice as hard. I was trying to be lazy and work around that pipe. It did not happen. I'm going to leave that wire on. I hope that should be fine. I really do hope so, because I should be able to twist and turn and clean all this gunk out. Alright, that's basically it. The gunk is spraying carburetor cleaner and wire brush. There's another guy that did an S80. Watch it. He did a pretty good job on doing that one. Thanks. Alright, I'm 2 hours into it. I've been cleaning pretty good. I decided, at first I decided, like you heard, I was going to keep that wire on. Then I decided to take it off, and then I tried to take it off and I couldn't take it off. There's some sort of silicone thing holding it. I was afraid to start messing around with it and not have the silicone thing to stick it back. It has 2 screws. You can't see it really, but anyway, I'm cleaning up. We're almost done cleaning. I'm going to try to get a little more gunk out. I had 1 brush. I got the blades in there. The brush I got, you saw it. It's this size. I wish I had a smaller one to get into the nooks and crannies a little better. But I can't, so I only have 1 car, and I can't get to the Home Depot to buy another brush. Well, actually, they didn't have a smaller brush. I guess AutoZone or whatever. Alright, I'm going to finish up here a little bit more, and I'm going to put it back together. See what happens. One thing also, inside the tube where the EMT goes, there's oil on both ends. That seems to be what's clogging up the ETM. I'm going to clean that out with carb cleaner and some rags, and hopefully get that really clean too. I would do that if I was you. I mean, you're already there. Why throw some oil back into a brand new ETM system? Alright. I'm going to show you one last thing. So the wire that's connected to that goes straight down, and that's the clip right there. Take that thing out before you start cleaning it. It'll make your life a million times easier. You don't know if you can see it, but it wraps around a little pipe. Just put it back around that little pipe. Mine's already done, so I'm not even going to, mess with it. But I just found out that that's the clip to it, so I wish I would have saw that earlier. So take that clip off before you start cleaning this bad boy, because it's well worth it. Alright, I've put everything back together. do it the same way you took it off. So first the pipe, then the fan, everything else just the way it was. One thing I forgot to put at the beginning, the battery. Make sure you take off, I don't need to go over there. Make sure you take off the negative terminal, put it back on. Just showing you everything's put back together. You got to break a zip tie to get the fan out. So I got to go buy a new zip tie just to tie everything up, because you don't want the wires touching the engine. It can melt, cause you more trouble. All right, I'm about to fire her up. Put the negative battery and fire her up. And I am a nervous wreck. Thank you. Alright, let's give it a shot. This is actually the second time I missed one of the little tubes to go into it. So let's see what happens. Revolutions are kind of high. It's not jumping as bad. She's not jumping at all. Put it back in park. All right, moment of truth. Here we go. Seems to be holding pretty steady at one. Oh, it went up. It's not jumping. Steady at one. All right, let me see what's going on. All right, this is the moment of truth. I turned it on earlier and the RPMs were hovering over 1. I found it kind of high. I turned it on and ran it for a little bit. So we're gonna see right now how we're looking. There you go. It's at steady right under 1. It's not jumping very much. Nice and smooth. I don't even know why the heck the service light is still on. Maybe I gotta take that off. And then that other light's because my trunk's still open. But nevertheless, there's no jumping. It really worked. So good luck, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my video. And I hope I answered all the questions you might have when you decide to do this job yourself. Took me about, what time is it right now? I think it's like 1:30. Took me about 4.5 hours. The harder part is taking it off. Putting it back on is a little bit easier because you know what you're doing. Besides that, what I would suggest to anybody is that if this is your only car, make sure you do it on the weekend. And if it's not, you know, you can do it anytime. But definitely give yourself some time just in case anything goes wrong. It is kind of difficult. People try to say that it's easy. It took me some time, but I'm not too mechanically savvy. So maybe those people who know more about mechanics will do a better job than I did. Thanks, and good luck.